what we've managed to do is take a business that was making no profit off about a 50 million revenue base. We've doubled the business. My name is Jonathan Holden. I'm the Group Executive Head of Operations at Innovation Group. Well, I think maybe if I can go back a step to my previous job before I joined Innovation Group, and that's really where I met Carmen. So, you know, my particular issues there were around feeling like I didn't have the freedom to express myself, not doing the things where I was adding the most value, and some personal, quite emotive issues that I needed some clarity around. So I met with Carmen, and I think I encountered her through one of her workshops that she had advertised on LinkedIn. I thought I'd give it a go, nothing to lose, and yeah, the rest is history. But I think from that time onwards, I saw Carmen once a week, and really gave me some clarity of thought around whether I should be in that role or whether I should be looking to make a move, and move towards something where I could add more value, broaden my skill set, and I think the hardest part about that was the decision to move. So she helped me there to make the move, and obviously my move was to Innovation Group, where I am now. And once I'd settled in, and I think I'd got that clarity of thought, I pulled back on the sessions. However, not long after that, I saw a magic opportunity for Carmen to come back in and give a group program to my group of young leaders. So we together customized a course. So what I liked about that was that it wasn't prescriptive, it wasn't straight out of a shelf. We were able to sit and workshop that and really customize it to our particular needs. So that was my next encounter with Carmen. And then infrequently and on an ad hoc basis, I've been seeing Carmen, you know, just when you need that clarity of thought, those decisions that are difficult to make, even with input from colleagues and friends. I think Carmen certainly is the tipping point for me in decision making, because of the way she approaches issues. The effect of the coaching on my business, firstly giving me the confidence to push the boat out, do things that I can honestly say I don't think I would have done otherwise. I've always been quite a introverted person, perhaps too conservative in my decision making, and I think first and foremost gave me the courage to, you know, step outside the box a little bit, try things, even if they failed, just the courage to try them. I think that was the most important thing. The coaching support, how did it allow me to do things differently? I think I mentioned previously the fact that I think it, you know, it hasn't changed my personality, but it's changed my approach to certain things where previously I might not have done them, or I may have been too hesitant. It's allowed me also to give structure to issues. You know, early on when I was coaching with Carmen, there were very sort of formulaic methods of approaching things. I don't sit down and apply the formula now. I think it comes as second nature. And Carmen always told me that would happen, but you've got to practice it over and over. And I've found that it really, you know, you're faced with a problem, you deal with it, and then you think afterwards. I've just realized that I used that lesson or tool. So definitely the way I think, the way I approach things, and a general positivity that I definitely lacked previously. Those are probably the three biggest things. Yeah, I think from a leadership point of view, I began to entrust people more. I allowed people to make mistakes, whereas previously I was probably the kind of person that used to look over shoulders. It allowed me the freedom to let people live their own lives, make their own mistakes, but provide the guidance and the leadership that was required at the same time. And the feedback I've got from my management or leadership team is just that they've appreciated my style, they've appreciated, at sometimes they've felt uncomfortable because they've been in the deep end, but they've seen long-term the benefit of that. I think all of them, including myself, ongoing need a level of mentorship and coaching. I don't think you can ever run out of external input. So what changes did we see in my team as a result of the Lead to Succeed program? It actually was, for me, almost an experiment. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. It was a fairly diverse team. There were about 8 or 9 of us, very different backgrounds and skills, and a fairly new team. I'd only just joined the company. And I was amazed to see the different impacts it had on different people. What amazed me and sort of concerned me initially was the fact that people got so much out of the course that they got the wings to fly, and a couple of people left the business, which I found strange at first, but with a bit of hindsight, obviously the best thing that could have happened for both them and the team. So I think the interventions allow people to become quite introspective and to really wonder whether they belong to this team or whether they could be doing something out there. So that wasn't an intended consequence, but it certainly happened, and I appreciated it after the fact. And then there were those that really sat there like sponges and soaked everything up and did the homework and obviously took full advantage of the course and for what it was worth. And they are absolutely flying now in their individual positions. So much so that I don't think Carmen would recognize them anymore. So, in summary, I think different people took different things, but in the end, all positive, whether it was making a personal decision to move on or embracing it and boosting their career within the company. And it was wonderful to see the different aspects. Carmen professed to be a sort of business breakthrough specialist, and I put it to the test, and I think the results show for themselves over 3 years. So what we've managed to do is take a business that was making no profit off about a 50 million revenue base. We've doubled the business in 3 years, and we're making about 20 million rand profit now, with pretty much the same team. And I think there's a lot to be said about that the training, the leadership course, the program, and the fact that the team went through it together, stuck together, have achieved results together, and for the most part are still there together, I think speaks volumes to the interventions that Carmen and her team have put together from a leadership and business perspective as well. We did what I've just mentioned now in terms of the business growth, and the targets we achieved were exactly the ones we wrote down on paper. But I think the fact that we had planned it kept it very clear in everyone's minds what we were aiming to do, and the proof is in the pudding. Has the coaching given me an advantage? Absolutely. I feel sorry for people who haven't been through it. I encourage other people to go through it. I've encouraged other people to see Carmen, particularly more senior, ambitious people. But any sort of coaching or mentorship is invaluable. And yes, I definitely think it's worthwhile in the long run. Carmen's level of skills and expertise. I think first and foremost, the positivity. I've said this to Carmen herself many times, but I don't think you can face challenges and have difficult conversations if you are in a negative frame of mind. And her greatest skill is to snap you out of that quickly, start looking for the opportunity, and then of course applying that to a business context. I think there are many coaches that perhaps haven't the business background that Carmen has. She runs her own businesses, so that's always powerful. She has been in the corporate world. She's seen the good and the bad, and I think it helps to give some relativity to the conversations and some input. She's been there and done that, and she was very flexible. And most of the program I went through with Carmen became almost freestyle, where every week we just picked up on current trends and issues and addressed them. So I think her ability to be flexible and not just push you through a vanilla program, I think sets her apart from other coaches that I've either encountered or seen coaching other people. You know, Carmen obviously does this for a living, but it doesn't come across like that. Her courses, her messages, her interaction is very personalized. I truly believe she is a friend, and I think as with most relationships in business, once there's a trust relationship, obviously a lot of confidentiality around the conversations. I think she manages to bridge that hesitancy early on, so that we can really get working together fast on the issues and come up with solutions together. So I think that was very powerful for me. You know, she absolutely oozes ambition and opportunity, coupled with good business savvy, and it really makes you feel like you can do it as well. Yeah, Carmen's approach to the group, 8 or 9 people, as I said, very different backgrounds, personalities, ages, and she was able to meet all of their needs. I think some people required more time than others, and she was able to identify that. She was also able to, confidentially say to me that she doesn't think certain individuals are up for it, and I must either prod them or they must move on, and that happened. And other people who she identified as potential high flyers have over time actually proven that. So she's definitely got an eye for it. But perhaps that comes with seeing the potential and investing in it, and encouraging those people. I think, including myself, Carmen was very good at, or is very good at, encouraging. So it's not just the decision making, it's making you feel good about yourself, be positive, and feel like you can conquer the world and do anything. So I think she, in a different way for everybody, made everybody feel like that. I've seen fundamental changes in people as well following the program, in terms of leadership style and what works and what motivates. And that in turn has been imparted on the next layer of junior management, and there've been some really incredible stories and experiences of people that were just downtrodden, clocking in and clocking out, and adding no value, and they are now absolutely flying, and they weren't on the program. So I do see the program as have many downstream spin-off effects, just by the way people change their leadership style and allow others to operate underneath them. So I think, when you do a program like this and you only target a management team or select individuals, it doesn't only mean that they're the ones who will benefit. There is a much wider benefit which happens over a period of time. It's not instant, but it's tangible. You can see it. Having been through the program, having been through her leadership courses, really the cost, if you like, I tend to see it as an investment and not a cost, because of the future benefit. It really is a drop in the ocean compared to the future benefit. And I think it needs to be contextualized. I think people need to quantify what they're looking to get out of it, and when they look at the cost in comparison, it really is insignificant. So I think as a general message, people should view coaching and leadership programs as an investment, and definitely not just a training cost. So would I recommend Carmen as a business coach, a leadership coach? Absolutely, I would. I already have. I'd like to do more. As I say, I think her style is suited to certain individuals who are high performance, are ambitious, and are perhaps just struggling with that key breakthrough or key decision. Certainly, I've made recommendations, and she's been successful there. So I would highly recommend. Also, because of the leadership program that I developed with her and I saw the benefits of, I think that that sort of intervention for groups is something I would highly recommend as well. I think, I've really enjoyed the interaction with Carmen. As I started off by saying, it's become a friendship. I feel like I can call her anytime to go through something, and I have done on occasion just to have a chat. She follows up regularly just to see how I'm doing. I'm sure she does that with all of her clients, but it really makes you feel special, makes you feel like you have that sounding board when you need it. It doesn't always have to be a formal session, and really it's been a wonderful experience, and it's changed my life. And I hope more and more people can experience it and spread the word. Coaching has got to be high on the agenda of any business that wants to have high performance leaders, that wants to differentiate themselves. Absolutely got to be high on the agenda, and a big investment that any successful company makes.